Hello, this is Vicki Christensen O'Shields for She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls. Today we are in the historic Fort Worth Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm very honored to have a very special guest. We are here for an occasion. It's the Red Steagall Cowboy Gathering, and none other than Mr. Red Steagall. Hi, Red, and welcome.
Hi, Vic. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we are so happy that you are here. And Red, we are honored to, this is what, your 26th annual?
It is our 26th annual. 27 years ago, we gathered over here in this old Coliseum and decided that we needed a cowboy gathering in Fort Worth, Texas.
Wow. And, as they say, the rest is history. But there's something for everybody here.
There is. And we never believed we could keep it going this long because we thought the cowboy thing was going to die out because already for 30 years we'd had cowboy poetry gatherings, and some of them were dying off and some of them were still pretty viable, just a couple of them. So we didn't know how long it'd last, but thanks to nice folks like you and your husband who keep coming, we have a wonderful event. We do have something for everybody. We have a ranch rodeo. We have a chuck wagon cook-off. We have a trade show. Anything your mind can imagine or your heart desires that's Western, you can buy there. We have swing dances at night. We have a 10-piece swing band with some special guests. Like tonight, we'll have Jake Hooker and Leon Roush and Bobby Flores. And then we have cowboy concerts with Don Edwards and Jeannie Prescott and Dan Roberts and R.W. Hampton. And we have some of the best poets, Yvonne Hollenbeck and Chris Isaacs, Jay Schneider, and Strawberry, some of my favorites. And so we have all kinds of things. And then for the children, we have a youth fiddle contest, which is very exciting.
One of my favorites. I love the fiddle contest.
And then we have a children's poetry contest, and we give scholarships to both of those youth organizations, or both youth competitions. And on a Sunday morning, we have a youth cook-off around the chuck wagons. We have a chuck wagon camp. We have 19 wagons this year. One of them had to cancel out day before yesterday, so we decided not to fill that spot. And they're really good wagons. And they come from all over Oklahoma and Texas and New Mexico. And they compete in 4 food groups. And that's bread, dessert, beans, and meat. And then they compete for the overall wagon, which is quite an honor. And the idea was that this was the last supply point for the wagons going up the trail to the railheads in Kansas. So we have access to all of the old records in the grocery stores, so we know exactly what those chuck wagon cooks bought when they made their last supply point in Fort Worth. So, and we come in with horses and mules, so the wagon has to be roadworthy. It has to be able to head up north, so across the Red River crossing at Nocona and into Indian Territory. So we try to keep it as authentic as possible. We have made some of the whip crackers and some of the fast draw and some of the mounted shooting people mad because we don't involve that, but that was something that was created from the real thing, and we try to preserve the real thing, and that's men and women working cattle to horseback, providing beefsteaks for the dinner tables of America.
And Red, it's all about roots and what you've worked over the years to preserve our Western heritage. I know you go back a long ways with cowboys. From Oklahoma City, I can remember my brother saying, "You tell Red hello for Bobby Christensen." I said, "I sure will." But Red, what a fantastic gathering this is. What a beautiful place, the historic stockyards here in Fort Worth. And if you've never been to the stockyards, honestly, it is worth a trip. The history here will come alive. The Fort Worth Herd, twice a day they bring them down the cobblestone street of Exchange Avenue?
Yes, and when you get here, you feel like you've gone back in time because the buildings are the same as they were 100 years ago. We're working very hard to preserve that. Even though progress is catching up with us, there'll be a lot of changes on the north side. Most of the changes will be just preserving and stabilizing the buildings that are already here. Then they'll build some new things that hopefully are in keeping with the theme of Old Cowtown, because you can walk these streets and go back in time.
Absolutely. Red, I know you're very busy today. We just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Listeners, if you can be a trip down here to Fort Worth, remember the Stockyards is the place to go. Red Steagall Cowboy Gathering happening right now. This is Vicki Christensen O'Shields for She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls. Good night, all.
Good night. Thank you, Vicki.